Okay. So yesterday I lost my headset. So please tell me if I have to talk louder because I'm just using the computer in the computer microphone. Okay? So we are going to begin now. Let me just see how we are with time. 36. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so please confirm that additional discipline with specific resources slide is showing. And I will start.
Yes, Lini.
Okay, good. So what this does, and Jahan, you're going to help whenever I forget something or we need to do maybe some searching at the end. Okay, so we have additional discipline. We want to talk about interdisciplinary resources and research for life dimensions. The interdisciplinary resources will be on the internet. You will not need to log in through Research for Life except for dimensions. Okay, so we have some what we call aggregated search tools and repositories. In other words, organizations set up repositories for material or they link to the institutional repositories. So the first one is called BASF, Byfield Academic Search Engine, and it has journals, institutional repositories, digital collections. Okay, so it's all academic subjects, but many of them are not referee journal articles. Okay, so we have all academic subjects, and they have 427 million documents there. So you're now going outside the research peer-reviewed journals. And many times you'll find papers from institutions, papers from research institutes, papers from students, and you have to be careful and check the quality of them, but it does expand the amount of material you have. Okay, that's the first one. I use this, sometimes we do demonstrations with this one, open access research papers. But as I said, it is not specifically peer reviewed, so you have to be careful about the quality. But it's another excellent tool. It's from the Open Access University in the UK. It's an aggregator of research papers, so it has the links to other research papers. Okay, it has some open access journals, and again, it has a huge number of papers there. So these you will have this presentation and at your leisure go through and open some of these and see if you can get the full text. Jahan, I think, is going to do a little demonstration of this one, if I'm correct. It's called the European PubMed Central. And what this does, it's life science literature. It is a host for all the material within Europe where the government or an international agency has paid for the research and they are required put a copy here. So this is another very useful source to get in this case peer-reviewed journals, okay, journal articles. And service provider is the European PubMed Consortium, abstracts, full text articles, patents. It's got Agricola records. Those are that'll be discussed in the breakout room. It's the database from Agris, from FAO. Okay, full text, again, 46 million articles. Focuses on the life sciences, but includes other science disciplines. Okay, so that's another useful one. This is one that allows you to go to multiple databases from the US governmental agencies, and you can search them all at once. Okay, General Printing Office, more than 70 reference databases, digital repositories, and subject-based web gateways. Okay, So the coverage is A to Z, multiple topics. Okay. Open DOAR. This is a repository of repositories. So you can search in it and see what institutions, what organizations, what disciplines have different uh, repositories. Okay, University of Nottingham and Lund University, it's a directory of open access repositories. Okay, scholarly publications in multiple formats, all academic disciplines, access to more than 6,000 repositories. That's another one. If you think these are useful for your research or colleagues' research or students' research, you go and view these databases and see what they give, what kind of resources they give you. Again, these are outside of Research for Life. Okay, so next one, PubMed Central. This is the one where institutions within that get funding from the U.S. government must put a final copy of the paper in this database. It looks like regular PubMed, but it is more disciplines, more science-related disciplines than just health. And maybe Jahan will choose to show this one and do a search in it and see what kind of resources we get. Searchable free full text articles, everything, biomedical and life sciences, uh, journal articles, peer reviewed, over 11 million articles as of July. So this would be again an excellent source. You are searching a specific topic within your discipline. You might want to look here to see if there are any related articles. And of course, you can do a search in the box here, just like in PubMed in general. Okay. Uh, just want to mention the directory of open access journals. Okay. This is a partner with Research for Life. Okay. So every DOA journal is available in Research for Life database, open access journals and articles. Some of you may notice that we have collaborated with them and they have done training for publishers and editors. The goal is to have your institution's journals accepted by DOAJ for several reasons. One is it makes you have certain standards like peer review, like having a number of issues per year, things like that. So the quality of the journal becomes better. But then they're available either directly or I'm sure some of you have searched in uh, Research for Life and you have come up with links to the full text that say Directory of Open Access Journals. Okay, so we have here over 20, almost 22,000 open access journals. Most are searchable at the article level. And here it says down at the bottom, over 11 million articles starting as of July 2025. So this is another good source that you could go to directly, although these should be linked in your searches within Research for Life if you did a summons search. Okay. Global ETD is temporarily unavailable. Okay. Now this is its replacement. And if, I didn't want to do that. I was thinking of opening. Okay. So this is a thesis and dissertation database. Let's see what it says. Community initiative developed and maintained by contributors, including library and information science professionals. Has an index and search engine. Metadata harvested from over 1,100 colleges, universities, and research. So all the graduate theses and dissertations here. Link to full text when available through the institutions. So this is really a gateway to the different institutions, okay? All academic disciplines, over 7.4 million records, okay? Yes, I did this last night. I did a little search. What was, quote, climate change, unquote, and quote, food security, and you can see that there are 1,598 matches, okay? And you can see the dates, and then you can start seeing the universities that are doing the research on that. Keywords are sustainable agriculture, food security in Ghana. Okay, that's the keywords for that one. So then right here, you can see that there's a link to the full text. So as you're researching these climate change related articles, don't forget to go to the open access thesis and dissertations database. Okay. I don't know what's happening to this one. They claim they're coming up. Starting again, I keep looking every 2-3 months, but then you can see that we have a good substitute right here. Okay. Now, next is another one. What was my topic here? Climate change and subsistence agriculture. Okay, so this is pretty precise, at least for me, my thought. But there are 44 total matches. Again, here it is, Queensland University of Technology. Characteristics of root agriculture responses of mung bean to water deficit, something I know nothing about. Mung bean, I'm sorry. And again, you get the link to the full text. Theses and dissertations are a wonderful source of primary academic research, but they're not available unless a journal article is published on it. They're not regularly available. So this is a way of tapping into this. And you can see that it even tells you if it's a doctoral or a master's level. And you can see that I've done a more general search, and there were 1,600, and a very precise search, and there were 44. Okay, so this one is available through Research for Life. So you go to the databases and you click on P for ProQuest, okay? And there is a thesis database there. So it will function similar to this one above here, but this is a commercial one that is available through Research for Life, okay? ProQuest thesis database, comprehensive curated collection of over 6 million citations and 3.6 million full text works from thousands of universities, okay? Electronic thesis and dissertations, over 6 million titles, and then you go to Research for Life to get the access, okay? Very briefly, I'm going to talk about dimensions. Dimensions is really a very comprehensive database. You can search universities, you can search topics, you can search individuals and see what they have published. So first we go through the databases, we go to D and we click on it, and this is what opens. It is a database goes beyond citations, defines itself as a dynamic linked research data platform. Okay, it has grants, it has patents, it has policies, hundreds of millions of publications, grants, policy data, patents, and metrics, over 4 billion connections between them. Okay, so this is a huge database. But what I'm saying is you can go in there and search subject specifically. As I said, it's available through Research for Life that way. Okay, we have opened a search. We have done a search in the search box. It's a little hard to read. I'm sorry about that. Maize production in Zimbabwe. All right. So here's all the list of the articles. And then you can add filters here. Here's the search. Here's filters. Here's the results. Only one filter can be applied at a time. So again, you go in with climate change related topics and or even your regular research, you're going to find huge amount of material here. Some have access to the free full text, okay? All search terms and filters applied are listed in the search box. So your search is up here and the links are below, okay? and you find the full text if available. Summaries, bibliometric indicators are all defined in this box here. I think I have a broader picture of it. Links, okay. You have citations, number of citations. Altmetric shows the altmetric data offered by altmetric. It's just tells you where if people have put this in their Mendeley bibliographies and things like that. PDF links to open access, okay. But if you look down here, if you follow my little arrow, it says links to full text. This is where the links to the Research for Life material is. So the search in dimensions is linked to what is available in your country, and you can get to the full text from right there. Okay, but I think they usually you'll often find a PDF, so there may be other options. Okay, for access to this. All right. So here is an example. We have clicked on a full text article, and we get over in the right hand column, the altmetrics, which tells you how many people have cited this, how many people have put it in their Mendeley, in one of their collections in Mendeley. Okay. Research analytics by author. Now, this is getting away from just doing basic research, but let's say on a climate change topic, let's say you're interested in an individual. You say, oh, this person has published a lot on a topic I'm interested in. So you can actually look up his profile, okay? So we have put his name in the search box up here. It's hard to see. And these are the results that come. And then on the right, they give you all these little graphics, analytical views to the right, which shows indicators. Okay, so here's showing his publishing over the years, starting in early 2000 and going up to the recent years when this search was done. So it's showing you all the amount he has published, okay? You can click on researchers in the right column, see, again, you have all these tabs sitting on the right, and you can click on it, and you can see the publications and where they've been cited. So here we have looked him up, and you can see where he has research and publications and citations. Again, if you're doing a search, this could be very valuable to find out what else this individual has published. Okay, again, we're now looking at where has he published most of his articles, and it's showing you a list of the different titles, okay? Publications and their citations by source. And it's showing you how many times they've been cited, I'm sorry, okay? You can also look up a university, and I think we did the University of Zimbabwe here. And then you can also see analytics related to an organization. This is getting a bit away from our topic, but again, go into dimensions and explore it. You go to the databases and you click on D. All right, so this will tell you, and again, you have these little graphics on the right that you can click on, and you can see how many articles have been published each year, and then this is the current year from when this study was done. Okay? So, University of Zimbabwe, actually, you put the information in here, you put the author's name in here, and it does the search. Analytical view on the right sidebar shows number of views with metrics for the university using the affiliated researchers' publications. Okay? So, here's your analytical view showing graphic representative of the output by year. So you get all these nice graphics. It's really good to show these to deans. It's really good to show these to the president. Say, oh, our university has been publishing more over the years, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not why we're here. We're here looking for access to a host of material. It might even be patents. It might even be grants. related to a specific topic, keyword search topic. Okay, again, another analytical view breaks it up by different research categories, field of research. So you might find a topic in here that is very close to what your research is. And then again, research organizations tab shows publications and citations related to the university. You can also look in here under your search research topic for grants. I'm not saying you can get the grant, but you can find out what organizations have been supporting your research. And then you could write to them. You get an overview of the research activities and their funding sources. Okay. Resources can be filtered by the UN Sustainable Development Goals. But if you're looking for sources of potential funding, this is also a good tool here. I think that's it on this topic. What I say, to be honest, I cannot do this justice. Okay. Again, research data platform, hundreds of millions, publications, grants, policy data, patents, metrics, over 4 billion connections between them, indicators evaluating the impact of researchers and research organizations. What I say is go in to Research for Life, go to D, go to Dimensions, and explore. It's a little tricky to learn how to search, but I think that you'll be okay over time. I'm going to stop sharing. Jahan, were you going to do a search at this point, or is our time basically up?
I think we have only 2 minutes, Lenny.
Okay, we only have 2 minutes.
Mm.
Oh, there are people waiting to be queued in. That's for Michael to take care of. Okay, so is there anything to add to this, or?
No, but I can do a simple search within these 2 minutes. Allow me to share
Okay,
my
so I should,
screen.
if I've stopped sharing. Okay, if Michael lets you share, you can do a search in a few minutes, the few minutes we have.
So you can, no, this is the Europe. You can see my screen now or no?
Yes, we
Okay.
can see your screen.
Okay, I will do a very quick, simple search with the many ways and the benefit of the PubMed Central that the PMC, not PubMed, PMC Central, that we have most of the PDF files of the article. So let's say I will look for hospital infection and global health in PMC. So we have a huge number. We can filter and we can publish the filter by published journal article and the open access subset. This is for an example. So we have limited somehow our search, and we can do it, we can limit it by adding some refining tool and search. We have the same number. If we will add a big bracket here, somehow we have limited the number. Let's open one of the article. Okay, here is the PDF, and you can see it on the publisher site. You can cite it, and you can have the whole article to have an idea before you go and download it from the PMC. Now I think we are on the top of the hour. If you have any question about this, you can ask me within the health breakout room. I'm ready to answer your questions. Okay, so I will
And the
stop.
European PMC does the same thing for research has been published with funding by European governments, so that you're getting directly links to peer-reviewed full-text articles
The full
that
text
may or
is
may not be
available
available
everywhere. Yeah.
in Research for Life. Yeah.
I have
Okay.
prepared a simple search as well in PMC, but we do the European
Oh, go
PMC.
ahead. Do one quick.
I have prepared one, the monitoring health and health system performance in the East Mediterranean region. It gave me 3,000, more than 3,000 articles. As you can see here, we have the same little bit different set of filters by, let's see that we need to refine it by search article. It has the same number, and as Lini just said, that we have the full text of these articles. Let's open one of them. Okay, so we have the open PDF, you have the ORCID, you have the citation, the abstract, the clinical photos, and the similar article along with their free full text. Okay, so I think we have to go now to the breakout
Yes.
rooms.
One more sentence from me. We
Yes.
will make sure that you get the presentation. Okay, we're going to make sure you get the presentation so they can go in and try some of these resources that are outside of Research for Life. Thank you. Michael,
And
you're
as
up.
well, you can send us an email, either Lini or myself, and we can reply to you. We can meet with you. We can give you the full information or whatever you need. Okay, I'm ready for the breakout.
Okay, thanks. I'm just finalizing creating the rooms now. And you should be able to allocate or self-select the room that is most suitable for you, the discipline that you are interested in. So in a minute, you should be able to pick that.
Okay. Don't forget to give us share screen access to the presenters.
Okay.
Yeah. It always takes a little time to get the breakout rooms organized. So we will be patient and appreciate it, Michael.
Sure, almost there.
Thank you, Jahan, for your quick searches, although I was
Thank you,
afraid I would use most
welcome.
of the 30 minutes.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I will add my my email in the chat. If someone needs any information, any clarification, more information, I will be ready and will more than happy to receive your emails. Can you please, Lini, add your email to the chat?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, now we click on join a breakout room, correct?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, everybody pick your topic. Ooh. I don't see anything coming up. Okay.
Michael, can you hear me?
Yes, you can now hear you, Mercy.
Yeah, like in the agriculture sciences, we are still waiting. We have a few people. So maybe if you can click to join the breakout room. Now I can't see it. Is Michael in this plenary?
Yes, Miss, I can hear you.
Yeah, like may you give the instructions about the breakout rooms again, because I still see there are 49 people here. And
We don't see
on
the
my
name.
screen, I can no longer see them. Oh, okay. So if you click on the three dots, like under more, on your screen, you can see the three dots that next to the record button, there is more. So click on more. Then the second option is join breakout room. Then you can select the breakout room of your choice so that we can start. I'm in agriculture sciences. So I just came back for that announcement.
I click, but I cannot see this.
Irena, if
Yeah.
you can you click on the more button next to record?
My record has no more.
There is no more. It's view.
View.
It has recording and view.
Oh, Michael, maybe, I don't know. So like, where do the users need to go?
Because now the interface, because I'm on the admin interface, I'm not sure what they have on their screens there. Just if there are three buttons somewhere on your screen at the bottom bar.
Let me see. Join breakout room. Yes.
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 Yeah. Where was it, Irena? Maybe we can help the others.
It was next to the share button at the bottom. When we click on leave chat, left side of the leave button, it is more. I clicked on it.
Yeah, so it's the more button. So if you can click on the three dots that are above the more button, you see the option to join the breakout room. Then you can join. Okay, I'm going to join my breakout room and looking forward to see those that are in agriculture in that room. Thank you. So join breakout room. Then there are three breakout rooms. So you can select the one that you want. There is health resources, agriculture resources, and environmental resources. Then you click on join the one that you are interested in. Okay.
Thank you, Mercy. So if I have any trouble joining a room, just let me know.
Kindly, Michael, kindly add me to agriculture room. I don't see my three dots.
It should be next to the share button. Do you have a share button there on your screen?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, so if you look to the bottom on your Zoom app, at the bottom where there's the share button, right next to it should be more. If you click three dots there, the three rooms should pop up with the options to join. Or if you can type the room that you prefer there, then I can assign you manually if you're having a problem still. Just type the room, the discipline you're interested in, then I can manually assign you.
Hi, Michael. May I kindly request that you make Mercy and Chelsea co-hosts so that they can record the session?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Michael. Mercy again, I'm back. There are people who are saying they are in the, like waiting to be connected to the meeting. You haven't admitted them.
In the waiting, oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and can you also make us co-hosts so that we are able to record?
Okay, noted. Let me do that.
Thanks. All right, we can go back on.
So it's Onan yourself.
There is Chelsea. There is like the other people who are managing the other breakout rooms, Lenny,
Okay.
Jehan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll confirm with the program.
Okay. Michael, if you see that there are people that haven't been allocated breakout rooms, you can actually assign them to any of the breakout rooms so that you make your life easier.
Okay.
All right. So those that have just joined, we are in breakout rooms. So we've got 3 breakout rooms. So there is the one for like health resources, another one for agriculture resources, and the other one for environmental resources. So you actually see like a three dots on your screen. At the bottom of your screen, there is a more button. Click on the 3 dots. Then you click join breakout room. Then you select the breakout room of your choice. Thank you.
So hopefully we are winding up in preparation for our next session in 5 minutes. So in a couple of minutes, I think, Lenny, with your permission, I can close all rooms.
Yes, please. We closed about 5 minutes ago.
Okay, then. Thanks.
Yeah, I think all I have to do now is announce what session is coming up. No more teaching.
Okay. So let me close the rooms.
Yeah. As long as everyone figures out how to get back, we're all right.
So we are now closing the rooms. Thank you. I hope we have all wrapped up and we prepare for the next session. Thank you very much.
Oh. Tandy, I just saw your email message, so I think you're connected now.
Yes, thank you, Lenny. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're having a very nice turnout, and I think your discussion later will be very insightful. Blessing did an excellent job talking about the concept at the beginning. So people, we need to go back to thinking about how to make impact. So that'll be perfect timing at the end. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. How was your session, Jahan? Good? Nope. You're mute.
I was saying, for me, it was good, but the participants can say that, not me, Lily. For me, definitely, it was good.
It was more than good. It was better.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
And you were all right with Cochrane Library?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good to know. Yeah, one person mentioned how sometimes they can't get into a database. They said, well, that happened to me last night. So you write to the help desk. And I must just make one comment. We're on schedule today.
This is good.
Yes, it's very good.
So I will not take too much of your time, just a brief idea. I will briefly show you exactly how to use Mendeley and how to save hour of manual works, and we will walk through the entire process from registering and installing the required tool to managing our Mendeley reference list. So today I will explain what is Mendeley exactly and why it is useful to use this tool in our academic writing. Then we will walk through the registration and installation process, and from that we will talk about the interface, the Mendeley interface. Then we will look into the various ways in which we can add resources and keep our reference in the library. And then we will look and how to insert our references in the Word document, and then to do or to create a reference list. And to access Mendeley, just use this URL. And let's start to talk about what is Mendeley exactly and why it is useful tool or software management to work with. Actually, Mendeley is a fantastic free little tool that makes the task of referencing a lot easier and more accurate, especially that you are downloading all references into your Mendeley library just once. And you can as well change the site or the citation to the required referencing system. For example, my university is requiring the APA, yours may require the Harvard, other may require the Vancouver, and so on. Okay, and simply is Mendeley is simply putting all your citation in a proper formatting, and it ensures that it is done 100% accurately. And in brief, if you are organizing your references manually, you will be asked to add it, or you will want to add it into Mendeley as well. So we will now look on how to do this. And as you can see here, that we have many options either from the website or your laptop and so on. The first thing that you will need to do is to register to Mendeley account free and simply access this URL. Then you will need to click on create account to create a free account. The account is free, and then you will add your all your details. Okay. Once you have done this, we will have to install the Mendeley web importer. Simply use this URL, and it will be at your laptop or your reference. The Mendeley site plugin is for inserting all your references and bibliographies into your Word document. And again, it is free, and you can install it by using this URL. Now you have your Mendeley account, you have installed your web browser and installed our Mendeley site. You can go to our Mendeley library. Okay, so to access the library, just use this URL, and you will access your library. Normally, the library should be blank, but this is my library, so I added some references for your kind information. Okay, so if you are looking at the left column, you will find a series of filters starting by all references, which is this section. You can add, as well see your recently added and your recently read. You can extract the duplicates and put it in the trash as well. And you have the collection and the groups. We will talk about this right now. And at the left of the left column, you will find this little icon. This is the notebook. This is where you can add some notes. It has nothing to do or not related to your references. These are just notes that you can refer back at a later stage. Okay. So now we want to add reference into Mendeley, and the first thing we will need is to add reference to our, now we have our research, and we want to add references to our research. Mendeley have give us some options. The first option is the manual entry. This is the slowest one, but I have to tell you about. And to do this, just click on add references and add references manually. As you can see here, that Mendeley allows us to add information in many fields, same like title, author, the identifier, and so on. But it is the fields, the available fields are according to the form you are selecting. So if you can see here that these fields differs than the web page. Okay, and there is another very useful thing that to search with DOI or PubMed ID. The second thing, which is very useful and was very useful for me as well, is the PDF upload, since we are using PDFs now most of the time. Okay, so you can add the PDF, and Mendeley is generating the information, and it was as well keeping the PDF in your reference if it has PDF, and it is very useful. It will be very useful because you can get back to this PDF whenever you want, and you can add as well. You can add notes in the PDF and comments. And to do this, you can add on the add references as well and import files. Okay. And here you will have the number of imported files. This is another way to add reference into Mendeley, which is the web importer. If you can remember at the beginning that we installed the plugin, and to do this, just go to the web or the website, open the PDF and click on the little icon at the top right of your page. Okay, and this will be added to your library. That's how it will look like the references. Okay, so if you want to add or edit anything, you can do it using this little icon at the top right of any resource, or you can do it at a later stage. Again, it is a very good idea when you are importing any reference to review the information you have. Okay. The Mendeley search is useful as well, and it is same like Google Scholar. You can access the Mendeley search using this part of the URL, and it is similar to Google Scholar in terms of the you are adding the term or typing the term you need to look for, and click on search and click on to add library link, and it will be added. I will not go further in this section because I'm quite sure that Eric will fully go through this section. Okay, and another thing, if you want to add, if you are, for example, if you are having a library and you want to import the reference in this library to Mendeley, it is very easy because you can import it by BibTeX and Node or Riz. And you, to do this, you will add a reference and import library, and in seconds it will be imported. I have done it. I imported my Zotero library to my Mendeley library, and it was very, very useful, by the way. So now, how to manage your Mendeley library. Let's talk about this. Actually, Mendeley gave us many options. The first one is to add our references to a favorite list. And to do this, just click on the yellow, the star beside any of your references. It will be added to your reference list and it will turn to yellow. So this means that this resource now is in your reference list. However, despite that the reference will be in the reference list, it will remain in the old reference, okay? The second way is to create a collection. From a create collection here, you can create the collection, you can rename it. I renamed my collection evidence-based medicine. And here I created my collection, and you can add references to your collection by dragging and dropping from the old references to your collection. And the reference will still remain in the old reference section, okay? Same for the create groups. Just click on create group. You can rename your group. I renamed my group Jessica. And you can manage your group by clicking on the 3 dots that are beside the group name, okay? And you can invite up to 25 researcher colleagues, friends to your group. And this will be very useful because you can cooperate in a project as a group. Yes, this is the most useful part of our project, and we are always interested about this, how to insert the citation in the research paper. So simply we will open the yes, first I have to tell you where you can find the plugin. Either you will find it in the reference or in the adds in, okay? And to insert a reference to your research paper, yes, this is very important. Another thing very important, that you are choosing your citation setting before you start to add your references, okay? So you can choose one of the citations in the list by clicking on citation settings. If you do not find your required citation, you can search for another style and add you can custom your own style. Now we will add, after doing this, we will add the reference to our paper. So first you have to appoint your cursor to the position or where you want to add your reference. Then you will click on your reference, you will select your reference, and you will find at the bottom insert one citation. So you will click on insert one citation and it will be added to the place where you appointed your cursor. And if you want to add more than one reference, you will repeat the same step. Yes, at the end, I'm quite sure that Eric will go through all of this. To insert or to create your reference list, first you have to ensure that all the references that you want your reference list to include are cited or already inserted in your paper. Otherwise, it will not be displayed in your reference list, okay? And you will click on these 3 dots, then insert bibliography, and it will be properly added here at the end of your paper. But first you have to go to the end of your paper, appoint your cursor, because Mendeley need to know where you need to add your reference list. So you will have to go to the end of your paper, of your research, and appoint your cursor there. Thank you so much. I was very brief and very quick to leave the chance and opportunity and the time to Eric. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening to me. I will stop sharing, and over to you, Eric. Thank you, thank you.
Hello, Jan.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Hello, everyone. Thank you and welcome also.
Eric, so good to hear your voice. You made it.
I did. I have to run.
We appreciate it.
Okay, let me share my screen and then we can take off. I hope my screen is visible now.
Now, one disclaimer. Eric goes fast. If you have a question, put it in chat and he will slow up and explain it. Okay?
Right. Just a moment. Okay, thank you, everyone. And so basically the assignment is to take you through how to create a subject-specific collection. And Jan has taken us through the various processes, registration, and also how to add content into the account. And you also saw she demonstrated how to make favorite articles or content in your library. So basically, creating a subject-specific collection is also same as creating a favorite library, only that with that, if you choose the favorite button, then it will mean that all of them will come into the favorite folder, in which case we are hoping that you do it yourself. And so for those who may have been using the old Mendeley desktop, remember that this used to be called folders, but now they are labeled collections. So to create subject-specific collection, why is that important? This is important because if you see my library now, please, I hope my screen is displayed.
Yes, Eric, you can see your presentation.
All right,
yes,
thank
yes.
you. So why is this important?
Yes.
This is important. So if you see I'm scrolling through my collections, this is over 2,000 journal articles and ebooks, some of them coming in through demonstrations as we're doing now. Now, a lot of these things have been in my library since 2014. And so the question is, do I remember everything in here? And if I do I also know the fields that they are related to, the various fields, because I'm into information profession, so I have digital, library, IT, and all these things are mixed up. And so especially for researchers who will normally be writing particular papers in various subtopics in their domain, or graduate students who will normally have to create collections to manage various courses in their program and various assignments for different faculties. It's important that you have these segmented so that at any point, even if you don't remember the title, you are able to tell the particular field or course. And so you go straight to the field and then be able to find the collection. Some of these things saves you time. The essence of this software is basically to make work faster, your writing and citing process faster. And so if you're able to do this, it helps make it fast. Now, let's create a collection and then we'll see. So basically to do this, now, as Jian mentioned earlier, before we create a collection, anytime you add content to your library, they come to all references as has been demonstrated. And so whether they are in a particular collection or not, anytime you want to see all of them or how many you have, you would have to come to all references. But then, as I was saying, if you need to segment them and be sure you're able to find them quickly and also to identify their relationship in terms of programs and domain, then it's good you have a collection. So to create a collection, basically down here or under file. So here, okay, so let's use this, go to create collection. And then you type the name. So let me basically do, let's say, information systems. Okay. This is because I'm doing something here so that what I find will be relevant. So information system. So let's assume this is the collection we are creating to use. And so when you type the name of the collection, you click on this small check mark, as simple as that, and then your collection is created. So this is it. Now we move to how to get your collections in here. Now, two ways in this instance. It's either you already have some sources on the domain, on the subject area, by which case you could do drag and drop. But if you do not have, then you follow the same process that Jian demonstrated. So you make sure the folder is selected. So we are inside the information system folder. And then you go to add references and choose any of the processes, either import files, import folders, import library, added through BibTeX from EndNote, RIS, or you add entry manually. We're not going to this now. And so you could do this and have your content uploaded. So let me see if I can try to bring in something from here. So public-private partnership, let's say I do this. So if I click OK, sorry, I changed the collection. So let me pick the collection again. So I go to information system. You should make sure the collection is open before you do the addition. And so then you go back up and do add references, import. And then I'm going to pick the same thing again. And so it comes directly in here into that folder. So this is if you need to do from the desktop. Now, as we, Mendeley gives you the cloud backup. And so you could either be online or on your desktop, depending on where you love to work from. So if I should be online, for instance, let me go log into my, okay. So this is my Mendeley online account. So if I am here and I found something, let's say information systems theories, and I search. So basically searching here, and for those who may not be aware, Mendeley is now owned by Elsevier. And so what it means that you search here, you have the chance to search through a catalog of databases, including the ones owned by Elsevier. So the resources you get are very rich in quality, and also from all the sources that you may have home, including those who like to use Google Scholar. And so when I click here to search, so these are my search results. So let's assume I want to add this to my library. So if I click on add to information systems theory, volume 1, okay, volume 2. So if I should click on this, so it's either this way, or you can use the plugin to get the content into your library. So you can see that as I did, right now we are online, but the system is syncing. So what it means is that whatever it is you add online or desktop, you are still getting the result coming into your account and syncing down to your desktop. If it's on the desktop, it goes upstream onto your, now sometimes to be sure that you have the full text, because mostly I would love to have the full text going into my library, because you would wish to have the bibliographic information as well as the full text to be able to use the material. So what I would sometimes do, let me go back here, is to, okay, I unfortunately am in my mode now. Let me log into the normal mode quickly, so I can use the Mendeley Web Importer plugin quickly to demonstrate how you get the collection into your library. So mendeley.com. How about I have some few seconds? Okay, great. So I'm signing. So if I do information systems, okay, I've done this. So let me demonstrate with Scholar, at least for those who may not have access to some of these systems. So sorry, scholar.google.com. And then I do information systems theories. Okay, so with the search results, so here you can do this one after the other, but as I've said, part of the aim of using these packages is to ensure speed of work. And so later, if we've had another set to go into how to use the web importer or the plugin. So once you have the results display, instead of doing this one after the other, you could use the plugin. If you normally do this, you can use the same thing and direct them into the particular collection instead of getting them into the all references source. So with this, so it's asking me to sign in. Let me do that quickly. So the plugin helps you to capture the interface of the search results. Now, one warning is still under improvement. Sometimes for some of the database and some interfaces, the system is unable to capture the bibliographic information correctly as you wish them to be. So as Jian demonstrated on one of her slides, it's always important that you try to look at the references and be sure that what is right is what the system has captured, so that your references will be correct at the end of the project, most especially for students, because you work within time and respond to particular supervisors who may not have that much time for you alone. So once the system captures, so you can see from here, so this is the plugin, the web importer. So what I have here on the side is a capture of Mendeley from the screen result here in Google Scholar. So what you do now is to go through and the one that you like. So you can see the PDF attached. And so I check mark if I want this nature of theory information systems, I check mark that. Design research, I like this, I check mark. So let's just do with this. Now, when you click on add, because I've selected this folder, it will go in there. But because we want it to go into the particular collection we created, you need to search for it, because if you choose the default, it will line up in all the major. So now we are looking for information systems, which is the collection, specific collection we created and intend for this to be in. And so it's check mark it, and I need to take this off, else it's going into the two. So if there are any default collection you have selected, you need to uncheck, and then you click on add. So as you can see, this result as posted is going straight into the information systems collection that we created. And so, as I've said, these are digital systems, sometimes for some reason, such as access to the particular content. So remember, Google Scholar will display results from various sources for you, depending on your access level. So you can see for this particular material, it says upload, data quality and systems theory, PDF failed. What mostly it means is that I do not have access right now to it. So what it means is that if Research for Life grants me access, I would have to now look for this resource from Research for Life or any other resource that I have access to this material through. And so the system helps you, but then you also need to pay attention to some of these details. And then for this one as well, because of the access, you can see that the reference bibliographic information is gone, but I don't have access to the PDF. And so with this, I will we'll see if we have it, how to attach it. And then for this, when you're done, you need to check all this. You see that it says PDF check, reference check. So what it means is that the nature of theory in information systems, I have both the source document and then the bibliographic material to cite when I use it. And same as this one, design research information systems, I have PDF, the source document, I have the reference source. And so just to be sure, let's get to the desktop. Because we did this, we sent this to our online account. Let's get to the desktop account and be sure they came in. As I mentioned, the system would have to. So data quality systems theory is here, design research. So we just added this to it. The moment the sync icon begin reading, you know that you have your resources. And just for quality of reference and academic integrity, please kindly always click on it to check the information page to be sure that the title of the material, the content, the date, the year, the publisher, and all those information that you need is to cite is correct. Now, to do this right, this I assume is correct, but mostly to check, it's better that you double click and open the source document. Okay, so you can check the title page and be sure that the date, everything as displayed in the material are same as you have in the information page, just to ensure that you are on the right track in doing so. And so let's see how. So for instance, for students, once you create this collection and you add information, if you're a student, for instance, there's a possibility that you have about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 courses per semester. So what it means is that you also need to create collections for the particular courses in your program, especially for graduate students and PhD researchers. This is very important. And so you click on the ellipsis icon here. Sorry. You come here and then you choose, that's down, come on. Good. So you have sub collection. So you click on sub collection. So let's say we have a course in this known as design systems. Okay. Design systems. All right. As part of the information systems course. And so you do this and then you follow through to do the same to add. So to add information under design systems, it's either you are doing drag and drop. So we have design research information system. So I can just drag this and drop it here. So you're uploading it. Or as we mentioned earlier, you click on it, same procedure. You go up there, click on add references, and then you follow the same process to add it. Or if you are doing this via the online interface, you search your results, and then once the plugin captures, you direct it into the appropriate collection as we have created. Lenny, how am I doing with time?
Eric, I'm sorry, we have less than 10 minutes now because I think Robert.
So basically, yes, we're so that's basically how to create.
You're doing great.
Yes, Lenny?
You're doing great.
Thank you. Okay, so this is how to create a collection. And as Gian mentioned, just 2 minutes, as Gian mentioned, it's also when you need to annotate and put various information to the collection just so that you're able to remember and cite them properly. Okay, it's always important. So when you are in the collection, if you need to do the annotations, let's say this design system, as you read through, you open it and you're reading through, there may be portions that come across that you may not have immediate need for it, but then you know that these are portions of the article that you may need to cite some part of your work, or probably in the future write-up. It's always important to adopt the highlighting and annotation as Gian mentioned, and the tags, which probably in future workshops we may have time to go through. I think because we want to have time for questions, I will leave it here and then use the rest of the time to answer questions as they come in. Or if Gian has something to add at this point.
No, I'm okay. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. I think we are on time, Lenny.
I think
so.
So
Maybe some questions, general questions. We can use this to take general questions.
he has 10 more minutes, and then Robert comes on. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So when the questions come, then we'll take them. So also the plugin is able to also do a web capture, in which case we are looking at, let's say, a website. So maybe we go to
Eric, there are a couple of questions here in the chat.
Okay, so let's have them.
Yes, so one is how does one delete duplicates, duplicate references, and is there a way one can create literature review using saved reference collections?
Is there a way that
one can create literature reviews using the saved reference collections?
Yes, yes. In fact, this is even more important for that to do that, especially those on the projects, systematic review projects. This one strategy that you can use to organize the resources for the team, so that when they finish and they need to sift through and also look at, especially when it's a group. So maybe when we have about 2 minutes, so you can also do a group collection for the specific project for the course. So as you see, this one, for instance, are project resources. And so when you do this and it's not one person searching and loading into the group, what it means is that when you finish, you now have to search for duplicates and then be sure that you clear them before the systematic analysis or reviews are done, because the resources for the project has to be very clean, no duplicate. And so to do that, once you have the collection, you click on duplicates. So I have this folder selected. So you can see that for this, we have almost the same author about 3-4 times, meaning that some of the team members, the coordination was not too strategic, or members were finding some from Google Scholar, some other sources, and so you have the duplication. And so you can use it, yes, to clean the collection to make it ready for the project. Thank you. Next question.
Yes, and this was the second question: how to eliminate the duplicate.
How to eliminate the duplicate? Okay. So once you have them, all you do is select them, and then so first, you see the moment you click, the system is asking you to review. So depending on the source. So for instance, from my experience, sometimes some of the sources you find for JSTOR, for instance, the software is unable to capture the bibliographic information correctly. Sometimes you finish and you realize that the title comes in Arabic. Meanwhile, the paper is written in English. So what it means, as I said earlier, is that you then have to check the other ones, be sure the one that is properly captured, and then you delete the rest. Okay, so once I select this, all I need to do is click on trash. And so you do that, and then you duplicate, and then you just trash the ones that you don't want to clean them. But be sure that you search. Otherwise, you have to click on them one after the other to check the information to correct. But it's always possible that one of the ones captured was done properly, depending on the source. Mostly, Mendeley works better with Elsevier resources. And so if, for instance, a particular resource was captured from Elsevier, you are sure that that one is properly, the bibliographic information is properly captured. And so you can go with that and then trash the others. The ones you don't want, you select them and then you trash them. Okay.
Okay, there is another question, Eric, please. Is there a way where we can he wants to do it italic, the journal name in the references, like in Vancouver system?
We want to reference in Vancouver.
No, he want to italic the reference name in Mendeley, same like in Vancouver system.
Okay, I don't know if I'm getting it right, but in Mendeley, so the software is designed to give you the reference as the standard prescribed. So if it's Vancouver, so for instance, if we take this interface and we want to cite something here, So what you need to do, because once the resources are in your citation, it has to come right. That's if you've checked and ensure that your citation is correct. So what we need to do, come to citation setting, and then you change your citation to Vancouver. Okay, so this is Vancouver, and then it says update citation. So once you do this, then you have a lot of them, and you can also search for more. Once you do that and you cite, so if we go back and I pick this to cite, so insert citation, it should be able to come. So you can see this is Vancouver. Unless I did not understand the question, but the system will give it to you. And also, if you want, let's say populate the reference list, then if that's what you mean, then you come here to the ellipsis, and then you say insert bibliography, keep, continue. Yeah. And so from here, if the question is answered right. Gian, is there something that I'm not getting?
No, there is another question, but you can reply. I had network interruption, and I want to know the response to the question on if subscription are required to use the Mendeley and all the features demonstrated for any category of user. It was within my demonstration. No, Mendeley is free.
Yeah. So Mendeley also has an institutional edition. So if your institution wants to subscribe, Mendeley has an institutional edition that you can contact Elsevier and have it subscribe. And when you do, so for instance, I know University of Ghana subscribes to Mendeley. And so with that, your package is quite high. So for instance, for the free version, you can create up to 25 groups, and then have but for the subscription-based version, you have, I think, about 100. Your gigabyte is also very high. I think when you subscribe, you have very high gigabytes. But then for the free version, I may have to check. You should have something between 2 and 5 gigabytes, which is still, for me, more than any reference manager gives out for free. And that's why I love to mostly introduce Mendeley to especially students, because the storage size they give you for free, it's quite high compared to most of the reference managers on the market, and also including the cloud storage that they give you to back your systems up, taking up the device dependency away from your research process. Yeah.
There is a participant who have a question, so please go ahead. We have only 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. My name is Taddese. I am PhD candidate in Hungary. I am a Mendeley trainer in Ethiopia, also certified from Elsevier. I am very interested on this program, but how can we join like this? For example, currently Mendeley desktop are banned. There is only Mendeley reference managers. Also, many researchers became challenged. If they didn't update their office, the Mendeley reference manager cannot work. So Mendeley reference manager is needed the updated or latest version of WordDis. To your information, it is important for the participants, because if they use the old version of WordDis, it is not compatible. So they must use the latest version of the WordDis. Also, Mendeley desktop, on Mendeley desktop, the identification of duplication is easy. We can go to the folders and right click, then it says duplicate, then remove. If we say remove duplicate, we automatically remove the duplicates. But when we come to the Mendeley reference managers, we can search with each according to our guide colleagues gives training. It is good. So I'm interested for this training. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for the contribution. Yeah, Yeah, so for those who may not know, and if you still have the old version, I've normally received those reports. If you have the older version, it means that it's normally compatible with the older Office processes, and so Microsoft Office 13 thereabout. But if you have the higher Office or Word processes, you will need the current Mendeley Reference Manager. That's very important. And so when you are the connection and it's not integrating, then please check your Microsoft Office or your word processor, whichever you may be. Yes, thank you.
If you don't mind, I'm going to send your email address to everyone. I'm putting it in chat.
Right, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you very much. And fortunately, this time we had enough time for you to do your demonstration and also answer the questions. So I'm very pleased about that. Okay. We're right on schedule, which is good. And appreciate your coming on time. I know you had a very busy day, Eric, so I appreciate it. And now we have our presenter is Robert Cotter, who comes from an organization, a company called 21 Skills, which is about training for librarians, training for for information specialists, and we are piloting. We have 100 slots, and we are piloting it to see how we can apply it to Research for Life. And they contacted us, and they're very interested in working with our constituents. So now I'd like to turn this over to Eric, to Robert, I'm sorry, and he will speak about the resources available through their platform about AI, if I have it correct. Okay, Robert, are you here?
Yes. Hi, Lenny.
Terrific.
Thanks.
And we're on time. Yesterday we were not as good, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, like a Swiss clockwork.
Yes, I said to myself, I better get this one right for you.
Excellent. Hello, everyone. My name is Robert. I'm so happy and stoked to meet you here, even though right now I only see Jihan, but we already know each other. So just to give me a short idea where you all are, can you use the chat and write where you're based right now and what institution you represent, so I get a little idea of who is in this call, and just, like to get an idea of all the geographical sites that I'm talking to, like Ghana. Thanks, Nina. Very good. Ashesi University, excellent. Yeah, please, everyone, just a quick chat message so I get a little idea. Rwanda, Ghana, Uganda, wow, excellent. Sudan, Nigeria, wow. Kenya, excellent. Brilliant. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Nepal, very good. Hungary and Ethiopia, Cote d'Ivoire, très bien. Wow, yeah, I'm excited. I'm talking to you from Bonn, Germany. So this is the former capital of our small country, and still the scientific center, because all the centralized organizations are in this place. They just kind of kept the old headquarters when Berlin became capital. And we're working with research institutions worldwide, with scholars in very different settings. We focus mostly on early career researchers, like people who are doing their PhD, late master, maybe postdocs, but also professors, academic staff, and of late, a lot of administration as well. And okay, let me just check that. Wow, that's great. So many amazing places and different organizations. So that's the beauty of my job, that I get to meet amazing scholars and science managers from all over the place, and we really have a mission to make science great. We really believe that science is the one way to save our world. Through science, will we solve the big issues? And we want to support scientists everywhere. So working together with Research for Life, we want to bring our resources also to institutions that might not have the funding that the big Ivy League colleges have, or the big subsidies and research grants that some European universities get. So that's background. And yeah, please feel free to ask any questions during the talk, through the chat, or also like before, directly at the end. What I want to do is I want to give you a small overview of the resources that we offer to the participants through Research for Life, so that 100, and Lenny, we added another 30, so 130 scholars can use our online services. So what we are doing is we have created the largest learning platform worldwide for scientists, where they can learn the skills that they need to be better scientists. So ideally in your institution, so let's say, Wilson, you're at Mbarara University of Science and Technology, so somebody who's studying engineering, or somebody who's studying life sciences there, will get all the skills in the field at your university and for each of your institutions. However, in the 21st century, researchers need a lot of other future skills that will prepare them to acquire grants, to work in industry or with industry, to talk to stakeholders, and so on. So we have created an upskilling platform in the future skills. And that's the name of our company. 21 Skills does not mean that there are 21 distinct skills, but it's skills for the 21st century. And what I want to do is I want to show you what we have in terms of AI skills. So that's one category out of 8 major categories. And all the other categories, they are like good scientific practice, presentation, better meetings, leadership skills, conflict resolution skills, these kinds of things, right? But today we'll focus on the AI skills, because of course AI is revolutionizing science, it's revolutionizing the way we work, and you need these skills if you want to get ahead in science, but also if you want to find a job in the industry or in government or wherever, you will not get around AI. So I'm interested in your observations. If you look at the scholars in your university, in your institution, your college, on a scale from 0 to 100, 0 being not needed at all and 100 super important, how high do you estimate the need for scholars to understand and use AI this year? Can you give me a number? Just write it in the chat again. So 0, it's not needed. 100, it's like justice, and then you can have any number in between. So Martha is saying 70, with 100, we have a 0. That's fine, of course. Okay, yeah, excellent. 80, 50. Of course, it depends a little bit on your topic. It depends on the level that you're at. But yeah, for all of you who have a number higher than 0, there will be people who are who need to understand it, and people who will utilize it. So let me share our resources as of now. So it's something we're building up, and it's growing every month. So I'm going right into one of our e-learnings. So this is like the user experience. If you are one of the 130 scholars that can use our service, you could go into this topic AI in the literature review process. So on the left-hand side, you can see all the different chapters of the learning. And then each chapter, in this case, we are in lesson 3, discovery and search, finding the right papers faster. This is where AI is solving an issue that I, as a scholar, encountered a lot of time, that it takes so long to find the papers that are relevant for your next experiment, for your thesis, for the next step in your science. So we have a video where our expert in this field is giving some background. Then, you know, you have some text, some visuals. And then you can look at the different AI tools that are out there. So this is, of course, something that we need to update regularly, because the AI world also means a lot of change. So this is SciSpace, and then you get a screenshot, and you can go and look into SciSpace's components by clicking here. So you have to be active a little bit and look into this. There's some limitations, and then we go into research webs. Right? It's a great tool, and you can see, you know, how to use it, what's in it, some pro tips, perplexity with a typical workflow that you would have, and then this is something where you can look at like opportunities and downsides as well. So then we'll talk about like how you can make sure that you're using the right tools. So we have a little workflow that we've observed with a lot of scholars. So you start with an initial topic scan, you're looking at the lineage, like who has been cited, what are the anchor papers, then you dig deeper with the SciSpace, and you take a summary. So, you know, this would be like one topic. At the end of each of our e-learnings, you'll have a resource list with scientific articles, YouTube videos, but all of them specifically for scientific use of AI, and also the books. So obviously 2015 is already like old school, but a lot of them are just out and published. So this would be a typical exercise you can do, and you run through this. This will take you about 1 hour, and at the end you will get a certificate of having passed this class. This is the landing page, so somebody who has access can log in with their password and username, and then they come into this, and the first thing they see is AI, because we've observed that this is the e-learnings with the highest number of clicks. This is what people really care about. It's the #1 topic. For your interest, #2 topic is time management. So I just looked, and a lot of scholars are looking into time management. So the next e-learning we're going to put out is how to use AI to be more time efficient. Like not how to save time with AI, but how to use AI in your time management practice. So we have these e-learnings on offer for all scholars. So they are integrated in the platform. This is a paid premium account that we offer for free to those 130 scholars in the Research for Life program. The first one is AI in academia. So this is like a very general overview. Then we have AI in the literature review process. That's the one I just showed you. We have AI in visuals in science. So how to use AI to create graphs, to create presentations, to create science communication visuals, and so on. And then we have a combination of the AI topic with career. So how can you leverage AI, in this case, ChatGPT, OpenAI's model, to get invited for interviews? And that's a really specific use case. A lot of scholars worry what will happen after their PhD, when they have to leave academia, how will they find a job with all their academic CV? And then you can use this e-learning to use your academic CV and create an industry CV from this. And then we have live sessions that we have recorded and that we offer here. So the next live session on AI is on the 19th of November, and it's on AI and science communication. So how can you use AI to communicate your science, to talk about what you are interested in, to create an interest in the public for your topic, or strategically find a target audience to tell them about your research, about your library, about your institution, and so on. So these are the topics as of now, but we're really working around the clock to offer more resources on AI, because as I said, these are the most pertinent skills right now that not only in your estimation, where a lot of you are writing 100%, 80%, but this is what we observe around the world. So maybe a little bit of background in the data that we see. We have researchers from over 100 countries. A lot of them are enrolled through larger, more endowed university that can afford the premium package. That's our core business. So we have a lot of African and Asian scholars, but mostly if they do their PhD, their postdoc, or their tenure track position in a larger European or American institution. So we thought in order to have a more diverse range of users, but also to bring this knowledge to the people who do great science and who are in need of these skills right now, we want to offer this. So I just read in the chat, Wilson, I'm interested in this. How do I become part of this, Robert? So these are the licenses that we shared with Research for Life, and then the scholars who have the license get free access to all the courses that are on our platform. And obviously, on the one hand, it's intrinsic learning, so you learn something that you need. It's different from other e-learning platforms like Udemy or LinkedIn Learning, that it's made by scientists for scientists. So we are only and really focused on research topics. So when we talk about AI, we're not talking about all the stuff you can find on YouTube anyway, but it's like really the use case of specific AI software that is used for literature review, for grant writing, for academic writing, for all these use cases. So that's the special use case, and that's the intrinsic learning is the one thing, but the other thing that we really care about is that you can showcase this to future employers, to your institution, so that you get certificates. So right now, you're getting a certificate for a course. So you do like a 1-hour learning session, and then you get a certificate showing that you've done these content pieces. But we're planning in the near future, so this is beginning of next year, to create deeper tracks to show that you have done more than just one class, that you've learned and worked on one broader topic. So this will be AI skills, and this will be one learning track. And then if you've done all the e-learnings, the videos, the live sessions in this field, then you get a broader certificate showcasing your skill in the broader field. Yeah, that's my presentation for now. And let me just read through the chat. So
hello, Robert.
Yes.
I'm putting in Blessing's email address because if anyone if there are still some unassigned passwords, she could consider adding these people. So I'm writing that in the chat right now.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
Okay.
Blessing is kind of like the let's say gatekeeper, in as we gave her the usernames, Research for Life, and the number and the passwords, and then she can share them with the scholars and the people here and in your institutions to get the access. And if you want more access for a larger group, then of course you can contact me and we can find a solution that fits to your setting, because obviously we understand that the financial possibilities are different in Western Europe than in other countries. So I might add, everyone can log in for free. So our business model is a freemium model. So you can just go to this website. I'll put it in the chat as well. LMS, standing for Learning Management System, and 21 Skills is us. So there you can register for free. You can get into the platform, and there you can access one course in each category. So 8 courses, because we have 8 categories, for free. And the other courses, you can see them, but you have to buy individual licenses or packages of licenses. So you could get in the one course and add it to the checkout and get access to it. So that's the individual approach. Mostly what we do is we get institutional access, so that a whole institution, like a library or a university, will acquire a number of all access licenses, and then can give this and share this with their PhDs or with their staff members.
I think the point I'd make here is that we are piloting it through the Country Connector program.
Yes.
And then we're going to see, we're very curious about the people registered, how many courses they took and that. And then we'll have to look at other options. But the point here is that Robert and his colleague chose to approach us to try to reach this constituency.
Yes.
So we're in the initial stages and we're working on seeing where this really goes. I hope that helps everyone. It doesn't give you access, but it gives you a little perspective. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also, of course, interested from all these experts here in the call to understand what topics are most needed. So if we talk about the AI topics, we are covering a certain range of topics that you've seen, you know, like the literature review and the visuals. But of course, you are very close to the actual scholars in your institution, to the real people needing AI skills. So, you know, what's in it for us is that we hope to understand through the usage, but also through people like you, what kind of courses we should produce next. Like, what are the topics that are most burning? Is it like a deep dive into one software where we take like Research Rabbit and go really like step by step, like in the Mandalay explanation just before, that researchers get understanding of one single tool? Or is it more like an ethical approach, like downsides and chances and problems with using AI? So this is like my question also to everyone here. Like, what kind of skills, when we're talking about AI skills in science and in research, what do you see are the most pressing issues where people are interested in using on-demand classes to learn about them?
Well, Robert, I would say, because we also, Jahan and I also coordinate the webinars.
Yes.
Okay, and we had one introductory one about the unknowns, which was about AI for publishers from publishers' perspective. And not everyone attends when they register. They may come back and listen to the video later, but we had over 700 people register for this. So the need is there.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're struggling with our finite resources on how to address it. And please, everyone here, check for the next webinar is, I think, November 16th, and it's going to be on this subject. So let me at least get that information and put it in the chat while we go on to the next presentation. Are there any more questions? Okay, there's Robert's email address.
That's my email address, and
yeah.
Also,
we appreciate your time in explaining how you, as a supplier of learning materials, is struggling and trying to incorporate all the AI aspects.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can really see that it's a pressing issue for a lot of researchers, because it's really also separating science at the moment, because the people who have access to the very powerful tools through their institutions have a big advantage, right? Because they can do things faster, like literature review, like academic writing, like grant proposals. And so this is creating a new divide in science between the really endowed large universities with access to all the AI tools and institutions that cannot afford the access. So things like what Research for Life is doing and what we are trying to do in here is to level the playing ground a little bit to give more equal access to knowledge and also to tools.
It's a daunting task. Daunting task keeping up with all this.
Yeah,
for sure.
And if you're interested in my personal take on all these AI things, I'm quite active on LinkedIn to write about this. So I'd be happy to connect there and also learn more about what you think is important and to discuss these topics. So some people wrote something in the chat, like Wilson. That's excellent. In medicine, of course, it's really much needed. And yeah, thanks everyone for listening, for sharing your thoughts and your opinions. And good luck for your future endeavors, and let's stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It's a major miracle, but we are on schedule today. It's 37 after whatever hour you are. And I'd like to note that Tandy is going to moderate a very dynamic group of presenters and try to, again, put the role of librarians and dealing and being proactive in a better perspective for all of you. After we've spent a day and a half on material, we'd like to put it in that broader perspective. So we turn the meeting over to Tandy and her group, and I know that their perspective and their comments will be very interesting to everyone and very helpful.
Yes, thank you, Lenny. Thanks everyone for joining us. And now we are going to change and be talking about the role of knowledge professionals as first responders. And I'm very happy and glad today with me, I have Blessing Mawire, who is coordinating the Country Connectors program under Research for Life. And then we have Macy Moyo from Itoka and Nasra Gathoni, who is joining us from Aga Khan University in Kenya. And together with me, I'm the Vice Chairperson for the Research for Life Executive Council. So to start up the session, I would like Blessing and Mercy to respond and tell us, how do each of you, Blessing and Mercy, how do you interpret the idea of knowledge professionals as first responder in the context of ensuring access to digital scholarly resources? You are much welcome, Blessing, and then I'll go to Mercy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Professor Tandy. And good afternoon, good morning. Hello to all the participants and to my fellow panelists, Nasra and Mercy. It's good to be here on day 2 of the workshop. So now coming back to your question, Tandy, I think, I was thinking about this, and I think if we really want to have knowledge professionals as first responders, especially in the context of digital access, I think the first step is to ensure that we have a thorough understanding and a grasp of evidence. And when I talk about evidence, most of us will think about just the literature that we have. But one key area that I just want to focus on is we need to have the proper skills and abilities to handle data, to have those data management skills. And this includes understanding how we synthesize the data, how we interpret it, first of all, how we collect it, how we synthesize it, but how we also interpret the data, and then how we package that data or that evidence to be used by different contexts of people if we're truly to be first responders as knowledge professionals. Then, of course, coming to the searching skills, we talk about searching skills, and I think we've got different contexts and understanding of what searching skills are. When we look at professional or expert searching skills, these are skills that are highly advanced, and I'm glad that the capacity development team offers some of this training on how to really understand expert searching skills. I'll give the context of, during the time of COVID, one of the programs that was being done under a big program was to search for evidence that really links to a crisis situation. And this didn't need your normal, searching skills that you'd find with a researcher, with a student, but this is a skill that you need to find with the knowledge worker, where you need to know how to search efficiently, quickly, and get the highest quality material, and of course, then how to organize it. Then just 2 more points, and then I'll stop and hand over to Mercy. So what we also need to understand is having that acute knowledge of what is available. So what do you have within your resources at your own institution? What is available outside of your institution within the subject area that you're supposed to then search for as a first responder? And then lastly, how do you understand the research ecosystem so that you are able to actually not only understand the evidence that you have, but also understand the people that you are interacting with, whether it's your researchers, whether it's your medical officers, whether it's climate officers, but you need to understand then what is there. So you need to have that speciality of understanding specific subject areas and not being really a generalist in such a sense. So we need to have more knowledge professionals who are really subject specialists, but do have these core skills of understanding the evidence, data management skills, this expert searching skills, and knowledge of what is available in your institution, but also outside, especially at a global perspective. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mercy. Thank you, Blessing, and Mercy, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thandi. Good afternoon, good morning, colleagues. I understand we are in different time zones. My name is Mercy Moyo. For this question on how do we interpret knowledge professional as a first responder? I'll tackle this question in my role as a Research for Life trainer and also a trainer at ITOCA. So I remember like a couple of years ago, we partnered with NHS Scotland to deliver or to develop, not just to deliver, we actually developed a course that we termed Knowledge Broker Course for African librarians. So the whole purpose of this training was to help librarians act as intermediaries between research and practice, because usually so it was in the area of health. So like in the area of health, we have the clinicians, and there is a lot of research that is being done out there about different medical cases. But when that research is published, it is not in what I would call in a clearly usable form. So you cannot just take like a research paper and read it. Maybe you can see that a research paper has got 15 pages. So it is difficult for clinicians to actually synthesize the evidence, especially for crises like Blessing has just given us an example of the COVID situation. So librarians as first responders, they are actually responsible for synthesizing the evidence that is out there for the different professionals. And in this case, it is for clinicians to put them like in usable form, like take for example, like we were teaching them about how to develop knowledge summaries and so forth. And we are actually like that area is actually expanded today. We are seeing a lot of evidence synthesis projects happening, like us with you, Prof. Tandy, we have actually worked on a number of evidence synthesis projects as librarians, and we are actually involved as co-authors, because the role that we are playing in that context is just like much bigger than just being a librarian, like directing people to information. You have to put that or package that information in a usable format. So like I would agree with this statement that librarians or knowledge workers are first responders, because they are playing a critical role in actually packaging this information in usable formats. So I think that's my contribution on that point. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mercy and Blessing. Really, you have really highlighted us on the importance of knowledge professionals as first responders in packaging information, evidence, knowing the type of resources, understanding this searching skills, and also the ecosystem. So now I'll move into the key challenges. Blessing, I know you have been working in different institutions across the developing countries. What are the key challenges do these institutions face in maintaining uninterrupted access to e-resources, particularly during times of disruption? And to give us an example of COVID-19 or transition, and how have you responded, or how have you seen librarians responding in those different contexts? Blessing, you're welcome.
Thank you. So I think the first part, which I think is common, both in times of disruption and no disruption, but more so, especially in times of disruption, is that most of our institutions, especially the libraries, have got very low, and in some cases, no budgets to subscribe to reliable databases that they require, and to reliable resources that they need within the library as well, to make sure that they do their job at the peak or at the optimum level. And this is really something that we see mostly in the low to medium income countries. I'm really happy, now we just had a good presentation from Robert talking about AI. And recently somebody asked me, where we are, especially in the low to medium income countries, in terms of AI adoption and usage. We are still behind, and I see more and more the gap actually getting bigger because of issues of low or no budgets. Because when we talk about AI, yes, we can all go in and download ChatGPT, for example, but there's a difference between somebody who's using a paid for ChatGPT and somebody who's using a free version of ChatGPT, somebody who can customize AI to their own institution and to their own needs, and somebody who cannot because of low or no budgets. So that's one point where really this is a case that is found in most cases of disruption. What comes to mind, a recent case within one of our country connectors in Uganda. We partnered in Uganda with the Makerere University, and they're an associate country connector for ourselves. And because of the skills that they have and the network that they have, one of the things that they've started doing is to take under their arm and mentor other countries that are working with them as an institution, as well as other countries that are close to their regions. And one of those countries that they're currently doing this mentorship of is Sudan. And we all know that currently there's disruption of civil disruption, political disruption in Sudan. And what has actually happened is that this has hit now and trickled down to the institutions and trickled down further to the libraries and their access to key evidence or resources, and they have no budgets. So when they engaged with those colleagues, they managed to bring them to Uganda, train them, give them the skills. But unfortunately, when they go back, there's no access, they don't have budgets, And it's really, a challenge, a big challenge that they're facing, especially in a time of disruption. And we need to always think what will happen. We always need to think as knowledge workers, what is our disaster management plan? What if there's a disruption, whether it's health, climate related, or any other disruption that we find? So this is the first point. And then you will find that most of the institutions, even at local level, they don't have infrastructure, they don't have, institutional repositories, for example, where they can actually harvest and store their own local research as well as other external research. But why I mention institutional repositories is because these are quite key, especially in low to medium income countries, to be able to access local research, grey literature, and to enable green publishing and so forth. And most of the institutions do not have the money to set up institutional repositories or the skills to set up institutional repositories. So as a result, you find that this is a big challenge for most of the knowledge workers as well in the low to medium income countries. However, where there is access, for example, most of the institutions that are represented today do have access to Research for Life, but then we find that if there's a transition or a time of disruption, what tends to happen is that people move jobs or people move departments, and somehow most of the institutions, you hear them saying that we don't know that we have access to Research for Life. We don't know what we have, and yet they're sitting on this gold mine. And one of the mitigations that is Research for Life has done is to establish and implement the Country Connectors program, where we are working locally in the countries and in the regions, not only to build the capacity and the skills of librarians, lecturers, policymakers, students, but making sure that they know and understand what they have at hand. So we are always, intrigued to go back to some countries, to go back to parts of countries, within the country, or back to institutions that you see, because that you see that they're not utilizing Research for Life. Because one of the roles that Research for Life plays in the background, there's a team that looks at the statistics, the usage statistics, for example, and we categorize institutions that registered long time ago or even recently, but so, all of a sudden we see that they've stopped using. And we want to try and understand now as Country Connectors, what is the problem? How can we help them to go back to where they were? And most of the times you go back and find out, oh, there was a disruption or there was a transition, and we don't know that we actually have access to Research for Life. We don't know anything about Research for Life, and we have to start again. So this is a continuous process, and we see this, what we call lapsed institutions or unusing institutions, and we try and revive them. And this is actually working in the countries where we're reviving institutions. We're also getting newer or younger professionals coming into positions, and there seems to be somehow no handover from those that were in those positions. So this is also one challenge that we've managed to mitigate with the Country Connectors. The Country Connectors really are championing the research ecosystems at a local level, at a regional level. And we've got a number of institutions that we are partnering with in the country. So I really want to just make use of this. This is my last point. I want to make use of this opportunity to call on institutions, to call on partners, if you want to partner with us, especially to expand the Country Connectors in your countries, in your regions, or countries of interest. We really welcome that. We've got a number of publishers that are supporting us to make sure that the Country Connectors initiative does much more. Like I said, we do much more than capacity building, and we work locally to make sure that we identify the local stakeholders, we partner with them, we champion the full research cycle, we make sure there's a reciprocal approach to Research for Life, where Research for Life is not all about access only, but we also want to make sure that the research that is happening in your institutions, in your countries, is also made visible. So there's a lot happening, and this is one solution, a major solution that Research for Life is implemented. Thank you. I'll stop here, Thandi.
Thank you very much, Blessing. You have really highlighted different examples, and I can see the reaction from members here. But I would like also, Nasra, if you can also share the experience from Kenya. I know we went through COVID, and there have also been different disruptions. If you can share any key challenges that have been facing institutions in Kenya. and relating to what Blessing has been talking about. Thank you. Nasra, you need to unmute.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
I needed to unmute. Sorry. Yes, I totally agree. I think it was a global problem, and and also this ties to a lot of things that have been talked about in terms of what did we do as librarians to address all these kind of challenges? Because you find, yes, it was a crisis, it was a pandemic, but and then there was a lot of misinformation. Now the thing was, I can't remember the statistics, but what I recall was that even during COVID, I know we talked about even evidence synthesis, and for those who know that there are different kind of reviews, we saw the highest number of rapid reviews because of the current situation. So you find now librarians were being called upon more than ever before to support researchers, and so as to make, and also to inform policies or to inform the management of this so-called pandemic. So yes, the challenges were there and are still there in terms of, I would think it could be the technology, it could be our skill set, and so on and so forth. And most importantly, like from the part of low middle income countries, the need for access to information. Because you see, when you talk about synthesizing information to inform practice, especially like for me where I'm in healthcare, we really appreciated access to resources, for example, like Research for Life. But now the question is, are the resources that we have adequate for us? And those are the conversations like we really need to be having, because we need much more resources. So just to avoid repeating what Blessing has said, yes, it was the issue of the skill set, issue of technology, and access to resources. And then not to forget, there was a lot of, remote working. Now the remote working came with all sorts of challenges. Everyone now had individual challenges, because sometimes we tend to be protected maybe by our institutions. I may be in an institution that is giving me access to maybe stable internet, but what happens now when I'm in my house, but I still need to provide the service as a librarian? Do I have, is electricity a problem? Which I know it is it's a problem across the world. I mean, power cuts are there day in, day out. But you find if you're within the institution, sort of even within this institution, we don't think too much about some of these things because they might be backup, but we don't have that at individual level. I mean, I would like to know who has generators in their house, at least in the part of the world that I come from. I mean, those are very expensive things to have. So those were the challenges that we had, especially as librarians, where we were expected to continue supporting the community during that time of the pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nasra. You have really highlighted a lot of challenges. I want to go back to Blessing. You talked about Country Connectors program, which we are really glad it's really helping and helping users to really know how to use Research for Life and also engaging with the users. But I know also Research for Life program and your Country Connectors program has been working with the NREN, the National Networks for Research and Education, in enhancing access to Research for Life through federated login systems. If you can talk about it, and then we'll move ahead.
All right, thank you, Tandy. Yes, I'm glad that you brought that up. So what, when you want to, let me maybe backtrack, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating maybe what has been said in the training earlier today. But when you want to access Research for Life, there are 3 ways that you can. Traditionally, it's knowing and understanding what is your username and your password, right? So which is fantastic. But like I said, one of the key challenges that people forget. We also have incidences where people forget and then use the username and password with their friends or their colleagues outside of their countries, and then we've got other problems because of the license agreements that we have with the institution. So it then blocks for the institution and so forth and so forth. So it then the turnaround blocks access. Then we have the second access option, which is by IP, where automatically, if you are sitting, like Nazra is sitting at Aga Khan University, and if their institution is registered by IP, if she's sitting there, when she clicks, she goes to a library website and she clicks Research for Life recognizes the IP range and is able to seamlessly provide access to her without her inputting the username and the password. This is fantastic, especially when you're doing most of your research work at your institution or at your campus. The only downside is, let's say you have traveled to another campus, which is in another part of the country, and where then the IP range is not recognized, you need to revert back to knowing then your username and password. And we see that in most of the times, people often forget. So that's the second option. So it's great for campus access, seamless access. But the new kid on the block, which is fantastic, is what we call single sign-on, where now an institution is able to aggregate all of its resources into one space, and you are able to have that seamless access. So almost working the same way from a user perspective. If your institution switches to single sign-on, you're going to go into your website for your library, to the library resources, click on the resources, and their Research for Life will be listed, and you automatically or seamlessly go in. What would have happened at the background is that your librarian and your ICT have come together, implemented, like what you say, federated authentication, which allows a one-stop shop for accessing all the resources that you have. This is the newer technology that is there. Most of us are using single sign-on without even knowing it. What you need to have in place to be able to use single sign-on is to ensure that you have the federated authentication, and also you are affiliated to that institution. Most of the times, we log into our intranets and so forth, and that's how we are able to access all the resources within our institutions. Now, to have federated authentication, most of the times you need to work with an internet service provider. But in most of the countries, this costs money. In some countries, it's very little money, or it's almost for free. But in a number or majority of the countries, it costs money. So what we have done is the country connectors, as well as the technical team or technology team for Research for Life. There's a committee for technology that works in the background to make sure that Research for Life keeps going. We've worked together on a pilot with a few countries and institutions, but now we're expanding, where we have now started reaching out to what we call NRENs. NRENs are National Research and Education Networks or bodies that are there in your country to provide the training, the infrastructure for anything connected to ICT, as long as it is under a research or education body. So if you're a research, which is most of us, if you're a research on education, if you're based at a research or education institution, you have access to the NRENs. At regional level, we've got what we call RRENs, the Regional Research and Education Network bodies as well. So you'll find, I'll give an example. I know where we're representing different regions. If you're in Sub-Saharan Africa, we've got Ubuntu Net Alliance, which covers Eastern, Southern, and Central Africa. We've got WACREN, which covers West Africa, and then we've got ASREN, which covers the north of Africa at a regional level. And then in turn, they work with your country RENs. Also in other regions, I'm working with the team from Bhutan, and I'm really happy to see some of them on the course, and it's night time for them. Thank you, guys. you also have your own regional networks and your country networks. So please get in touch with them. Let them help you to implement the federated authentication. Get in touch with the Research for Life help desk or the tech team, and together with your local ICT team, we'll be able to walk you through so that you are able to implement single sign-on. It's going up fast, and a number of institutions are implementing it, and it enables the users to really have that seamless access. And this access can now recognize them wherever they are. So they don't need to be on campus, like with the IP. They don't need to be just around the country. As long as they're logged into their institutional intranet and services, it will recognize that they're coming from this institution and give them access. So I really thank you, Thandi, for asking that question. And if you'd like more information, Martin, who's the co-chair of the tech team, and myself, on Thursday and Friday are going to be talking more about this. In case some of you are coming to the UbuntuNet Alliance conference, we're also going to talk about the technical aspects of this. Thank you.
Blessing, I put the RFRL help desk email in a message because they can contact them and connect the right people.
Yes, thank you so much, Lenny. That's correct.
Yeah, thank you, Lenny. Thank you, Blessing. You have really talked about on how now we can go out of the challenges. We have Country Connectors program, the federated authentication that will really help us as knowledge professionals to be fast responders. So looking ahead, what emerging skills, technologies, I know we have talked about federated search authentication, but what are other technologies or strategies do we believe as knowledge professionals will need to continue serving effectively as fast responders in the digital access landscape? So I'll now start with Nasra, and then I'll go to Mercy, and then Blessing will be the one to close.
Thank you. Thank you. Oops. Thank you, Thandi. Yeah, that is really a timely and very important question. I mean, because it is a thematic area in terms of the emerging roles aligned with the skills when it comes to what librarians are expected to do, and the skills that we must cultivate on a day-to-day so as to be fast responders. And more importantly, there's always the conversations about maybe the role of the librarian maybe not being, do I say appreciated or recognized? What I would like now to tie that with what are we doing about it? Because for us even to be recognized, or for librarians to be appreciated on what they bring on the table, I mean, for lack of putting it any other way, is it brings in two things. Are we being proactive and are we being responsive? Because the opportunities are really there. So you find the landscape is evolving so rapidly, but if we don't align ourselves, that's when we fall back. And there's always that issue of where we feel like, do we say that the system is against us and maybe we're just not grabbing the opportunities? So when we talk about skills, it's there's a lot of literature, emerging roles and skill set for librarians, and we're even seeing a lot of leading organizations like IFLA, UNESCO, the ACRL, among others, that are exploring all these emerging roles for librarians. So if I look ahead in terms of knowledge professionals, what we need to embrace, it's basically what I would say, it's a blend of all these emerging skills, technologies, and strategies, so as to remain effective and not to forget relevant. So if I can just maybe sum them up in like 3 areas that come to mind: skill sets, which have already been alluded to, like data literacy, digital stewardship, technologies. AI is here with us. How conversant are we with, we say AI has disrupted so many things, but how conversant are we with all these tools? And it was very interesting that I saw the interest that was generated by just the previous talk on AI. So the need is there for learning more about all these technologies, open infrastructure. We talk about open access, open data, and also other strategies within the library professional in terms of advocacy and collaboration and so on and so forth. So in essence, the future basically calls for what I would call a hybrid professional. Part a technologist. I don't know whether there's a word called ethicist. I mean, we're talking about the ethics of how do we access this information. And also as educators, in a way where we are able to navigate the complexity, while we also champion the access and ensure that there is equity. So in addition to technology, advocacy, and also so on and so forth, we also need to cultivate the skills of evidence synthesis and critical appraisal. And Blessing has talked a lot about evidence synthesis, and so has Mercy. So I will not dwell so much about evidence synthesis, but I just want to touch a bit about critical appraisal. It's not just, I usually say, we talk about evaluating resources, but you see, when we talk about critical appraisal, it means the librarian has to go to the level of understanding the methodology, the context of the data, has the right study design be used to answer the research question. So we have to go in depth into all this kind of knowledge. And when I think about the skills required for librarians, what comes to mind? I remember an article that I came across. I think it was published either 2024 or 2023. The title was Super Librarian, the Evolving Role of Librarians in Technology Space. What caught my attention was actually the term super librarian. And that could not have been said any better, because librarians indeed are super librarians. So we have to be ready to face all these challenges and what is expected of us. And most importantly, be proactive, as I started with, and be responsive. And in an era of rapid change, we need to continuously re-engineer our skills. What maybe was what was required yesterday may be different today, because things are moving so fast. So we need to continue also, do they say, have our ears on the ground? What is required? What can we do? How can we fit in? Because in fact, I always remember back in the days, there's so much conversations about AI. Will it replace everything that we are doing? I tend to be more optimistic than I think it's a case of looking like the glass is half full. I don't know that you use that narrative. I'm from an era where the first time we heard about the computer, we were all terrified about the computer. We all said we were not going to have a job. So I think when I line it to that kind of scenario, I realized that even the computer actually made us more relevant more than before. There was Google that came and they said, why will people use the librarian? Because I can just Google. But remember, Google will give you everything and anything. And that's where the synthesis, the critical appraisal, the evidence synthesis. So if anything, all these actually making us more relevant, but we have to be ready to face those, in fact, I'm not calling them challenges. I want to give it a different terminology. I want to call these opportunities. The opportunities are there for us and will remain more relevant than before. So as first responders, we should be able to bridge the knowledge gap, enable equity, as well as foster resilience. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nasra. Now I'll go to Mercy, 3 minutes, and then Blessing, 3 minutes.
Okay. All right. I think everything has been said from the first question up until now. And I would like to tie my point with what Nazra has actually said now. She said we need to re-engineer ourselves. I'm actually a strong advocate of lifelong learning. So how do we re-engineer ourselves? We re-engineer ourselves through lifelong learning. Our first degrees are not just good enough. I'm actually an example of lifelong learning. I joined Itoka as an administrator with just a diploma. Then I had to do the first degree in information science. I had to do the honors, the masters, and now I just completed my doctorate. If I had not actually re-engineered myself or engaged in lifelong learning, I wouldn't be here where I am, and actually also training others on how to actually the different aspects of the different types of upskilling yourself. I was actually part of the team that developed the Research for Life MOOCs, and now we are redesigning the MOOCs into short, massive, open online courses, which is something that I managed to do through lifelong learning. So what skills do we need? Blessing and Nazra has actually talked about the different changes that have been happening in the information society. Blessing, when she was talking about the Country Connectors project, she indicated that previously Research for Life, we used to just sign in using a username and password, but the technology has improved. It then moved on to IP authentication and now to single sign-on. So if you do not engage in lifelong learning, there is no way that you are going to actually know how to do those. Second of all, I also need to touch on the skill that we actually pass to librarians, the training of the trainers. So we train librarians to go back to their institutions and train others. So because nowadays the traditional librarian role, where you used to search for every user that comes to the library and give them information on their lab, we have actually overlived that role. So you should be able to train others as a librarian, as a first responder, so that they can actually do it by themselves. And I'm actually happy that I am also part of the team at Itoka, who is actually leading the training of librarians in evidence synthesis. So we actually take them through the whole process of evidence synthesis and how they can actually be involved in those roles. So we need to re-engineer ourselves, like Nazra has said. So I think that's all I can say for now. Thank you.
Wow, congratulations, Dr. Messi. You really inspired all of us. Lifelong learning, and now we need to re-engineer ourselves. So Blessing, 2 minutes.
Yes, I have now 2 minutes instead of 3. But anyway, just to round up, I really agree with my fellow panelists, Nazra and Messi. And I want to say, in as much as technology is moving, we still need the traditional skills. The difference is that we need to learn how to apply the new skill, the new technology to the traditional skills. So we have those traditional skills. They're not going away. They're your foundation. But how do you apply those traditional skills, and merge them with the new technology? Go and learn about AI. AI is not just knowing how to use ChatGPT. It's much more broader. I recently did a long course on AI and I was surprised about the different components and how I can actually help use it to enhance my work. So learn about it. How to use search. You can use newer technologies and they can help you to search much more better and become an expert. Then the second point, I only have 3 points, is that we need to learn how to partner and collaborate. You cannot be a first responder if you do not have the partnership and collaboration skills. Do not just sit and say, oh, I'm waiting for. Know how to identify the partners and strategically partner and collaborate with the right partners that you need to be what is the word now, to be recognized, the need for that recognition and to be able to add value and be a responder. And then lastly, participate. Be on the tables that you need to be on. Have a voice, speak up, talk about your roles. What skills do you bring? One of the groups that I lead as a convener for IFLA is called Evidence for Global and Disaster Health. I'm the only African on that, 2 Africans actually with another colleague on that group. Participate. Where are the other colleagues? If you want to join, and I'm not just talking about Africans from different regions, on that committee we're from different regions, but we need more people. If you're interested, please participate, have a voice on the table, contribute. That is how we're going to ensure that first responders, knowledge professionals are recognized as first responders. Be on the table, participate, because no one else is going to come and speak up for you. So I really encourage the colleagues, apply the new technologies, partner and collaborate and participate. Thank you so much, Thandi.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Nasra. Thank you, Dr. Messi. You have really highlighted a lot of issues, but my key takeaways are we just need to be proactive, responsive. That is from Nasra. Lifelong learning from Dr. Messi, and she's the good example of herself. And then Blessing, you really gave us a very good overview on how that we need to partner, collaborate, and network, and be on the table and contribute on what we can contribute and build on. We need to embrace new technologies, but we should not give away what we already know as our traditional skills. Thank you very much. Now I bring it back to Lenny. Thank you.
I spent the whole time listening and smiling. As you know, I'm the oldest person involved in this, and I started out before computers, before I call reference management software magic, because I had to literally type out all those citations. The point I want to make is this has been the best discussion and closing we've ever had at a workshop. Okay, Blessing and Jahan and I came up with some ideas. Blessing was definitely wanted to talk about being first responders. But this is the first time we were able to impart technical information and put it in the proper context. So I don't have much more to say except that this committee, this group will be called on again to do the same kind of closing, because it's absolutely the best closing I've ever heard of any workshop I've been to in all my years. Appreciate your energy, your thoughts, and your contribution.
Thank you so much, Lenny.
We all go back a while, I know that. Okay. I guess, Blessing, we're supposed to close this meeting. Jahan's here too.
You can go ahead, Lenny.
Yeah, we'll definitely send out a survey, because we did some unique things at this workshop, and we need to get some feedback on it and see what else we need to do next time. Okay. Are there any other comments? I just want to thank everyone for being here for 2 full days. It was a full program, and now I can catch up on other things and not get up so early for the next 2 mornings. Blessing, do you have anything to add, or also
I'll hand it to Jian. I'll hand it to Jian.
Okay.
Thank you, Blessing. As I need to echo Lini, it was a very nice, and we will think about this to redo this again in the future workshops. Thank you so much to all participants, to Nasra, Thandi, Mercy, and Blessing for presenting the the last part of the day. It was really wonderful and really informative. Thank you so much, and hope to see you again in a similar workshop. And I will hand things over to Lenny. Lenny, please.
We also have to thank Michael for coordinating all the technical aspects, which went quite well for 2 days. We appreciate his work there. And as I said, we'll send the follow-up survey because we need to know if you think this worked correctly, which I hope it did. It seemed to. And that was absolutely a wonderful closing, as I said. Any other comments? No. No.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
It's been a busy 2 afternoons for